Welcome everyone to another Wasteland 2 survival guide with Shiv. Okay, I'd like to tell you that you're going to see the next part of the AG Center. I really would. Unfortunately, yours truly did something monumentally stupid. While trying to compress the file, the compression software suddenly locked up and corrupted both files. So unfortunately, yeah, that got deleted. I apologize. However, to give you a quick rundown, still running around AG, still killing bugs and zombie plant pod people. You'll get attacked by a whole bunch of variety of things. You're going to have to go back through gas chambers a couple times, actually. It's kind of annoying. You'll eventually meet somebody that everybody thinks is the cause of all this, and it turns out he isn't. And ironically, it's a little homage to Mr. Johnny Cash. Thank you very much, Wasteland 2 creators. You'll find out what's actually causing the issue. You'll shut down the pumps. You'll meet the person responsible for it. I'm not going to say who, but I will tell you he will try to kill you. And he has a lot of action points to do it. And because he uses a handgun, he can pretty much unload the damn clip. So you'll do that. Everybody will love you at AG Station. Unfortunately, as you're exiting AG Station, you're going to hear something talking about High Pool basically now being overrun and them basically laughing at you and telling you to fuck off. I wish I was kidding. They actually do taunt you with the words fuck. I actually thought it was quite funny. So because of that, I'm going to take time here and get a little bit more in depth of what all these skills actually do. Somebody on Reddit said that my explanation of skills was not very in-depth for them. Well, I'm sorry, I've played a lot of RPGs, and a lot of this just came as basic common sense to me, but I guess, you know, it probably does merit going into detail. Now, as I said, when you're making a character, you always need to think about the core of what that character is going to be. Alright, in your typical RPGs, you have your tank or warrior, you know, lots of HP, can take some damage, whatever. You've got your big range heavy hitter, wizards, mages, and in this case, this is kind of like, I guess, our sniper. You'll have your thieves. These are the guys who kind of pick through stuff and whatnot and whatever. You'll have like clerics. These are your healers, and so on. Now, you have hybrid classes, and what I've done in my builds was make basically a bunch of multifunctional hybrids. And personally, as I feel, a hybrid is more suited for a game like this, because being like dead set in your specialization is probably going to be a negative. Alright, so with that said, we're going to go over each one of the attributes and general skills, and we're going to give you a breakdown and how this actually works. Alright, so we're going to start here with coordination. Now, as you can read in the nice little tooltip, a ranger with high coordination has grace, a deft touch, and fine motor skills. Basically means you know what the fuck you're doing, you're pretty fucking nimble, you can take more actions because you have more action points, and you get bonus range to hit. It's probably your primary skill you're always going to want to put the most points in, especially if you're going to do a lot of shooting or melee and whatnot. And I would like to point out, depending on the type of weapon you're using, will determine how many action points it takes to actually fire it. Anything that requires two hands to operate, i.e. heavy machine gun, sniper, assault rifles ironically don't. Two-handed energy weapons, they take a lot more to use. If it can fire multiple bursts, with the exception of submachine gun, it's going to take more action points. Alright. Luck. Luck, this one actually has a little bit of merit, but not as much as some people might think. For those of us who've played games like World of Warcraft and things of that nature, crit chance is a huge thing. Alright? Crit, haste, and all that stuff. Yeah, that's fine and all that. In your typical RPG, yeah, that's cool and all, but you really shouldn't put too much into it. The reason being is you need to shore up your primary stats, especially when you're going into like hardcore modes or Supreme Jerk, as this game offers. This is going to be a cool skill to have, but yet not something you're really going to want to invest a lot. The only cool thing that I do see about this that may make it worth investing in is the fact that you get extra con. Con, by the way, is your life, or you have a chance to get more. So you also get a chance to get bonus action point per turn. So that's another kind of cool thing. But in actually playing it, I've noticed that these chances are very, very slim, no matter how much you have in it. All right. Strength. In this game, strength actually does have a lot to do. It's your evasion. It's what determines how much you can carry. And how much you can carry really matters as you're picking up everything off the ground, as you will be. It also determines what kind of armor you can wear. Now, you'll need like strength 7 to wear the heaviest plate armor in this game. Now, there probably are going to be little trinkets and this, that, and the other that'll increase your strength and this, that, and the other later on. And maybe like every 10 levels you can get a attribute point up. I haven't made it that far because I've been way too busy like learning every aspect of this game. But I know a lot of game systems actually have that. So that's kind of cool. We skipped over awareness. And we're going to go back to that. Now, awareness, chance to evade. This is really important. Not taking damage is a good thing. Because when you get hurt, that means you've got to get healed. Healing takes items. You see what I'm talking about here. So, chance to evade, really important. Getting this up a decent amount is probably going to help you out. Initiative in combat. If you got this high, like let's say you got this at 7, you're always going to go first. All right, most things in this game I've seen so far have like initiative 5 or 6. So 7 pretty much means you're top dog. The only things that are probably going to have highest initiative is animals. For some odd reason, they always can go first. I've yet to figure this out. All right. All right, so we went on strength already. You get action points based off this. This is actually a really crucial thing. And it helps with your life and how much you get per level. That's really important. All right. And just to reiterate here, by per level, I mean every time you level up, you're going to get more life. And the higher your strength value is, the higher your life total is going to be. This is why your strongest characters are going to have the most life. These is what we generally refer to as your tanking class, the one you want everybody to focus on. That's why I gave my guy a big, heavy weapon that he can really dig a hole into something. Unfortunately, this game does not use an aggro system, so... Alright, speed. Speed is kind of important. I wouldn't say it's not all that important, but I would say it's definitely something you need to pay attention to. Movements per action point is really big, okay? The more movement you can do per action point, the greater options you have available in getting into a position, crouching, whatnot, and getting that good percentage to actually kill something. That's cool. Initiative in combat, also really important. Number of action points, again, really important. So speed, definitely something you're going to want to have. Now, intelligence. I had somebody send me a message saying intelligence is not really all that important. Yeah, I disagree on this. Intelligence is actually probably one of the better skills because as you're looking at your character, you got to think about where is he going to be? How is he going to progress? And in all honesty, the ability to read high-level books, from what my understanding is, high-level books train you in new skills, can actually give you attribute points and things of that nature. So that's kind of cool. I like that. It also determines how many skill points you'll get per level. Now, skill points is what you're going to use for your stuff like your weapons, your knowledge skills, and your general skills. And having a good amount of knowledge is pretty, yeah, okay? Seriously. I would so love to have a character that had 8 on intelligence. I really would. All right, charisma. This one I didn't really see any value in. It gives you no real value that I could see other than leadership radius and XP rewards. Now, if you've got this low, you're not going to get as much XP. Sucks. But Do you have this high? You will. So, I mean, it's a trade-off. And leadership. We're going to cover what leadership actually does here very soon. All right? Now, we're going to move over to weapons here. And weapons are probably the most important aspect of this game. No matter what, you're always going to be in combat. There's always ways of getting around certain things. So, just keep that in mind. But you're going to need to be good with your weapons. All right. Let's take a look at the assault rifle. These are pretty fucking good. I'm not even going to lie. They're expensive. Their ammo is mid-range costing. It's not like your sniper rifle, which is super expensive at like 8 scrap per bullet. But it is still pretty expensive. Assault rifles have single fire and like multi-shot fire, which is really, really cool. The only downside to the assault rifle is it shares ammo with the heavy weapons. And why this is a problem is heavy weapons really are great in the medium to close range, and you can do some really good damage with it, where the assault rifle initially is only a single shot and it's mostly a medium range weapon. So it's kind of that trade-off. One's going to be eating up more ammo than the other. So the assault rifles probably makes the most sense for the conservative player who does not want to basically blow through all of his ammo. All right. Whereas the heavy weapon is more for, oh shit, let's get busy. All right. And because of the way this game works, if you have a bunch of minions that are kind of like lined up perfectly, and you get your heavy weapon guy to where he's got a direct line of fire, as he's shooting through the first one, it'll actually go and hit the second one many a times. I've done this with a sniper rifle a few times. It was hilarious. It was actually kind of shocking too. When I saw that, I was like, holy crap, these physics work. All right. Bladed weapons. Bladed weapons are kind of cool, but the problem is you got to get up close and personal. So you're going to want something that's really, really fast and really, really has a high evasion for this to work. But the cool thing about bladed weapons is you don't need ammo. But you also have shit for penetration, which makes absolutely no sense considering you're stabbing somebody. But, you know, armor's going to deflect it. All right, blunt weapons. Now, unlike a bladed weapon, which you would think would penetrate a lot better, but it doesn't, blunt weapons don't really give a damn about armor, okay? It actually gives you a decent amount of hit because it's a blunt hit on something. It's rattling internally, so it's not trying to get through the actual defense. It's actually sending that energy through the armor. So this has advantages too, and I highly recommend this one if you're needing a secondary. Plus, you get a lot of these, you know, stick with the nails all over the place. Brawling. Brawling is really, really kind of funny. Yeah, it's literally just fist fighting. But you have a really super high critical rate chance with this. And I'm not even kidding. There's no ammo in it. It's low AP cost. You could get, like, if you have enough action points, at least 4 punches. And with that crit rate, that's actually quite important. If you have something that's doing multiple shots or can take multiple actions, every single one of those actions is getting a roll on that crit chance. So you could actually, theoretically, just beat somebody to death with your fists in this game. That's really cool. Alright, energy weapons, or as I like to refer to them as the bug zapper. This is kind of interesting. It doesn't jam, which is a godsend, but it's not very good. I mean, it's great against armored, on armored targets because the energy actually goes through the armor and uses it to conduct more damage on it. But unarmored targets, it's kind of meh. Alright, bugs, ironically enough, are classed as armored targets. I've yet to figure this one out, but they actually are. So you just blast them with this, and it's really great. As you go up later on, when you're facing off against synths and some of their creations, this is probably going to be really, really handy. But for the most part in the early game, this is kind of meh. It will, however, melt people. And I like that. The effect on that is just so cool to watch. I would like to say this, though. The starting energy weapon you get, really great gun. The next one you're going to get is called Herbicide. If you do the AG Center, or even if you come back to it, you can still get it. This one, it has better stats, but yet it seems to underperform. I don't know why. It just honestly feels underperforming. All right. Handguns. Handguns are really, really disgusting, all right? Against things that have no armor. It's fucking disgusting. I mean, the crit rate alone is just mind-boggling. You could get like 5 or 6 shots with enough action points easily with a handgun. And because of your crit chance, your base crit chance, and what you get from handguns, you can do some really disgusting damage. And that's just boggles thy mind. The only downside is anything with armor is going to laugh at you. And the fact is, you got to get pretty close to these things. So if you're not killing it, it's probably going to be very pissed at you. Heavy weapons. Okay, heavy weapons, they have their downsides. They're very slow, have high AP cost, so you're never going to just get like multiple shots off with this thing. But the fact is, it shoots like 3 to 5 round bursts, depending on which weapon it is. And damage per action point, it's like one of the highest up there next to sniper rifle. It's got good, solid armor penetration, and it does very well. Also, it does good bonus melee critical chance. I did not know that. Oh, wait, no. If you have this, somebody comes up to you and punches you, that you take more damage for having a heavy weapon. So if something's right on top of you, switch to your fist and just start brawling it out. Alright. Shotguns. Great against zombies. Horrible against almost everything else. I kind of take that back. The widespread on this makes it really good for taking on groups of lightly armored things. But low armor penetration really does kind of get to you. And also the damage kind of gets weaker over distance. So that is somewhat problematic. You literally got to get right on top of them to do anything. And at that point, you might as well just throw a stick of dynamite. Alright, sniper rifle. These have huge amounts of damage potential. They go right through pretty much any armor. Every shot will pretty much knock the crap out of something when it hits. The fact that they have access to explosive ammo is kind of cool. The only downside is the closer something is to you, the less likely you are to hit it. So you really got to stay like in the back of the group the entire time. This kind of works if you make your sniper your healer. That way, you know, he can easily just run up to where he needs to and heal somebody, or resurrect them or whatever. So that's cool. Now, submachine guns. I got a message about this, and my affinity for submachine guns is really, really stupid. No, it is not. First of all, I'd like to read the words uses cheap ammo. And by cheap ammo, I mean bountiful. 38 ammo is everywhere. Every damn thing I loot has 38 ammo. Alright? That shit is great. Now, yes, it has low critical hit rate. Alright. Now, you can kind of offset this with luck, but really, who cares? The closer you are with this, the more accurate it gets. You could literally run up to a target and just shoot through it. And that's kind of cool. The low armor penetration means it's probably not going to spread to the next guy. Sorry, it just doesn't work that way. But if you're stationary, you could actually get 2 bursts off on this if you have enough action points. My rogue character does this all the time. It's really kind of cool. Alright, so now we're going to get into the knowledge skills. Alarm disarming. Okay, so this is like kind of stop security systems from going off and warning other people in the generalized area that you're there. The problem with this is I have yet to find anything useful for it, so I can't really tell you its validity, but I guarantee you're probably going to want at least a little bit in this later on. Computer science. Hi, I'm the thing that allows you to hack computers. I'm the thing that allows you to deal with electronic locks. This thing has been a godsend. And depending on how you're going to play this, if you do AG Center, you don't really need this as much because you're going to get Rose, and she'll have access to all that. But you might come up against a couple things that you might need it beforehand. So, tough call. Demolitions. This is like a mandatory. Any of your person who is like doing like lock picking and safe cracking, I'd give them this too. This would be the one I'd probably put the most points in. It would be like demolitions 2, lock picking 1, and safe cracking 1. And the reason why I say that is, yeah, picking bombs, and there's bombs everywhere. There's bombs everywhere. There's traps everywhere. So you'll get a lot of experience on your guy just from that alone. And then you've got field medic. Ah, yes. For all intents and purposes, this is the, hey, I can heal people. Enough said. That's exactly what it does. All right. Now, you could use any kind of heal pack with any character, but if you have the field medic, you can heal for more. So you get more value out of the items, and that's really important. Lock picking. You can pick locks. Huge skill, highly recommended. If you don't want to take this skill, there's another one you can take, and we'll get to that in a little bit to kind of get through locks, but I highly recommend taking this. It's very helpful. Mechanical repair. This is a requirement. Seriously, if you want to progress past like that first thing you have to do, you really need mechanical repair. The radio tower, you need mechanical repair. All right, safe cracking. Well, it pretty much says exactly what it does in the name. There are lots of safes in this game. Some of them have tumblers, some of them have keypads. So having one guy with computer science and one guy with safe cracking is kind of important. So I would definitely put this on the must-have list. Surgeon. Skill is used to revive downed party members. It's also used to deal with like heavy trauma damage. So I would highly recommend this. This is a really important one. Toaster repair. Now again, I have yet to actually try this. I might do that here in a little bit and show you what toaster repair could possibly give you. But for all intents and purposes, I don't know. But toaster repair, basically, it allows you to fix broken toasters and you find some stuff inside. Who knows what might be in there? For all I know, a rocket launcher could be sitting in there. It's possible. We'll see. All right, Animal Whisperer. Apparently there's certain little ways you could get around certain quest lines by having this. I've seen one so far, and that's over in the high pool area. But I was able to work around it without it, so it didn't really matter. There is a trinket that you can get that gives you this, so keep that in mind. Barter. This actually helps reduce the cost of item purchases. This would actually be a really good skill to get and do well with, because who knows? Being able to spend less to get more makes a lot of sense. It means you're going to be able to buy more ammo, and that's kind of cool. But I wouldn't put it as a primary general skills that you would actively want to take. All right, brute force. This is actually a really great skill, but it's one you're not really going to need because one of the non-playable characters that you can pick up comes with this. And by non-playable, I mean, you know, she's kind of like semi-controllable, but there are times if your leadership is low, she will just, you know, go hog fucking wild. But she comes with brute force. Now, what is brute force used for? Okay, let's say you fail picking a lock. Kick that shit open. I wish I was kidding. It's also great for breaking open like cracked walls where there's like another entrance in and things of that nature, or to push or get something unstuck. So, yeah. Hard ass. This is also really kind of cool. It's used for certain dialogue options, which can actually advance you without combat, which is an important thing. Again, the chick you're going to get like pretty much right in the beginning comes with this, so you don't really have to worry about it as much. But you will be using this at the radio tower. Alright. Kiss ass. This is another dialogue option thing to kind of help you get around things. But again, I'm not much for kissing ass, so whatever. But it does have its uses. You can use it to kind of circumvent having to go through a long quest chain or whatever, just by doing something, and then, you know, the person takes pity on you, or they like, you know, the fact that you're kissing their ass, and then they kind of give you the information you need. Alright. Leadership. This one is hugely important. And here's why it's important. 1, Reduces the chance followers will ignore orders in combat. Means keeps them from going batshit crazy and doing their own shit. This can be really important. Also increases nearby's ally chance to hit by 4%. Now personally, I'm thinking that ideally you're going to want 2 leaders in your group. And the reason for this is you want one guy, you want the up close group and like the medium and far group. That way you can kind of get benefits. If you got all of your guys put together, you're going to probably get a share of like 8 across the board, with 2 of them only getting 4. That's kind of cool. Alright. But I don't know if these stack yet. I will be testing it. Okay, outdoorsman. Okay, there's benefits to this and there's a downside. As you're traveling the world, you're going to get like attacked by dogs. You're going to get attacked by fucking raiders and shit like that. This kind of helps reduce that. And that's kind of cool when you consider, you know, ammo is a premium. So keep that in mind. Perception. Mandatory must-have skill. This skill will save you a great amount of time, effort, and pain. Alright? By using the skill, it lets you see what something is, see if it's trapped, see if it, what kind of lock mechanism it's using. Lets you see all that shit. Really cool. Okay, smartass. This is another one of those conversational things that allows you to circumvent or move in a different direction in the conversation to possibly advance your cause. I see no actual valid use in this. Maybe there is. I haven't found it yet. That is a possibility. If anybody knows of this, please let me know. That'd be awesome. Alright, weaponsmithing. Initially, I wanted weaponsmithing. I thought this would be a really, really cool ability. And then I discovered after taking it that the first person I get already has it. So that was kind of, you know, a letdown. Thanks. But it was a good thing to learn. So this is something I'm definitely going to not be taking in my next build when I do this. So that'll be fun. Alright. So we're going to do one other thing. First of all, we're going to leave the character creation. We're going to go back to the nice little party that you all remembered. Yeah, they're all nice and fun. Unfortunately, they won't be seen much after this. Sorry, just the way it is. I'll probably be creating a new one. So let's go to the party that we all know and love. Alright, just loading up. Oh, it's taking a while to load this. Alright. Now, through random happenstance, I discovered a way of revealing a great amount of the storyline in one fell swoop. I do not recommend any of you doing this, but you know. Alright, so once you get to the point where you can go into the Ranger Citadel, which I never noticed this, but there's a whole lot of writing on this, and the word self-destruction is written on it several times actually. Alright, so we're gonna go in. And it's actually a really cool kind of like underground military-esque installation that, yeah, whatever. It has these doors that we can't get into yet. Alright. Now, like any good military installation, it should have a museum. And look, there's a toaster to repair. So I've actually found 3 of these in this game. Alright, so they find an M388 Davy Crockett tactical nuke. Davy Crockett tactical nuke. Jesus, people. Alright. In perfect shape from last... Okay, whatever. So, here's the funny part. You can talk to it! And there's a big red button. Well, if I've learned anything from watching television, it's that pushing buttons are a good thing.
Detonation initiated.
Okay, maybe not. So now, oh look at that, you learned what the storyline is going to be. Yes, I know, spoiler. But just to show you, don't push buttons. It's bad. It's very, very bad. Don't do it. Alright. And with that, I think we're going to end this episode of the Wasteland 2 Survival Guide. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a better understanding of what everything actually means stat-wise and for your party build. I will tell you this, if you go to AG rather than high pool, you're going to get a doctor. That may change how you build your stuff. I would still go with another healer, personally. She's also going to come with computer science, so keep that in mind. If you go to high pool, you're going to want to have a doctor, because what you get up there is a melee character of some sort who I've never really played around with, so I don't really know. But I'm sure there's some guides out there, so keep that in mind when building your party. Anyway, this is the Shiv saying thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate it. And bye-bye.